Alright, what's up everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today's video, we're going to be talking about the Detroit Pistons because things are getting very, very bad over there and I'm getting really worried about what's going on in Detroit. We're going to talk all about the Pistons today. Not a recap, it's just about the Pistons today. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really helps out a lot. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And I don't want to waste any more of your time because we got a lot to talk about. Let's get right into it. So right now, the Detroit Pistons are 2-15. They're currently on a 14-game losing streak, and we're not in December yet. Losing 14 in a row, we're barely a month into the season. That's something. That is something there. This Pistons team, the 2-15, they just lost to the Washington Wizards last night, who were also 2-14 on an 8 or 9 game losing streak. And they lost, not just lost out of a close shot, they got blown out. So a lot of concern there. Looking at the rate, I'm just gonna go with numbers right now, just to put in perspective how bad this team is. Right now, they're the 27th ranked offense, the 24th ranked defense, they're 28th in net rating so far this season. They're 27th in points per game, 23rd in opponent points per game. And in the month of November, just in the month of November, forget October, the first few games, just in the month of November, they are 0-13. They have not won a game in November yet, and they only have, I think, one more game left. In the month of November alone, they're the 27th ranked offense, and they are the 27th ranked defense, and they are 29th in net rating. Only the Spurs have been worse, net rating wise, than them. Effective field goal percentage, they're 27th. True shooting percentage, they're 25th. They are top 10 in pace, so they're playing fast, I guess. But does that really matter? I don't really know. But yeah, this just puts you in perspective how bad this team is. It's not good in Detroit, and coming into this season, a lot of the stuff, I think, the general kind of what we thought the Pistons were going to be this year, we didn't expect them to be a 45-win team or anything like that, obviously. But we expect them to be better. Cade Cunningham barely played last season. He's coming back. He's starting to get it going. Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey, second-year jumps potentially. Asar Thompson, waiting to see what he can do. Maybe, they got good vets. Maybe this team could be like a fun little 12 seed. Maybe sneak, give some teams some scares. Have a play-in push at some point during the year, and things are going to look up for Detroit. And it did look up for the first 3 games of the season. Looking at the first 3 games of the season, they lost by 1 point to Miami, where Cade Cunningham missed the game winner. They beat the Charlotte Hornets by 12, and they beat the Chicago Bulls by 16. 2-1 at that point, you're like, all right, yeah, this is the Pistons fun. We're starting to see Cade Cunningham was taking a step. Jalen Duren was playing good. Asar Thompson was showing some things. I was like, all right. Isaiah Stewart's hitting some threes. It's like, okay, maybe this Detroit team has got something. They have not won a game since then. October 28th. Today is November 28th. They have gone a whole entire month without winning a game. A month without winning a game. They've lost 14 in a row. And some of these losses, they lost to OKC by 12. They lost to Portland. Lost to New Orleans by 9. Lost to Phoenix by 14. Golden State by 11. Milwaukee by 2. That was actually a really good game. I think Dame closed them out. Lost to the Sixers by 8. Lost to the Bulls by 11. Lost to the Hawks by 6. That was another close game. Lost to the Cavs. Let Toronto put up 142 points on them. Lost to the Nuggets in a very close game as well. But Denver, championship DNA, even when I think that was the game Jokic and Michael Malone both got ejected. They lost to the Pacers by 13, and then last night losing to the Wizards by 19. That's been their game so far. It just hasn't been fun, Like, this was the year we expected Detroit to kind of take a tiny bit of a jump. I'm not saying make a OKC jump and be the 5th seed or whatever like that, but look a little bit better. See, okay, these young pieces are starting to work. What pieces work, what pieces don't. How we, what culture are we setting over here? How's Monty Williams doing? And it's been the opposite of that. It's been very, very bad. Young players, getting injured, not playing as much. Vets, a lot of people on the injury list. No competitiveness. No culture. It's just bad basketball. It's just bad. Everything about Detroit right now is just bad. In a bad state for the Pistons. And it's concerning. It is concerning because this is year kind of 4 of this sort of rebuild. after the Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond era. This is year 4. At this point, year 4, you're expecting to kind of be like, all right, we got kind of the pieces together. We know what pieces are going to be here and what we want to build around. And now we're starting to see some results a little bit. Not saying win 45 games, but, be competitive. Be competitive. Maybe make a play-in push. Maybe look like something. Especially with last year, we kind of gave him a little bit of like a exception because, again, Cade Cunningham, who they're trying to build around, didn't really play. He only played, 9 games last season. So this year, see what it's like. And they've gone kind of backwards, honestly, in a way. Like this year, they're supposed to be better. Last year, they were the worst team in the league. They won 17 games last year. And right now, they're on pace to win, 10. Like, that's not how this should go. This isn't how this was supposed to go. And it's really concerning, for this Pistons team, this organization. See a lot of fans calling out, calling for Troy Weaver's job and their owner's job and even Monty Williams' job. And I can't really blame them because it's like, they don't deserve this. This is not what the Pistons should be. The Pistons should be a young, fun team, even though they're probably going to lose 40, 50 games in a year. At least be fun. At least if you're bad, be fun bad. Be a team where, even though we're going to only win 23 games, it's going to be a fun, exciting 23 games with a bunch of young players that sometimes they ball out. Sometimes you're going to get beat, but sometimes you're going to have fun games, in there. And it's not fun. They're 2-15. It's not a fun to it. It's a bad, concerning 2-15. They're at this point, the last 5 games, the first few games, it was competitive. All right, we lost to the Bucks, we lost to the Nuggets. Now it's we're getting blown out by the Wizards and Raptors. Raptors put up 140 points. The Raptors don't even put up 105 in regulation, and they put up 140 points on you. You lost to the Wizards. The Wizards. Kyle Kuzma and Jordan Poole beat you by 20. It's getting bad, man. It's getting really, really bad. And the weird thing about it is the young players are playing all Cade Cunningham's look good. Also, the roster construction of this team is not good. So it's literally every time Cade Cunningham tries to do anything, 3 people are guarding him because no one cares about Asar, Isaiah Stewart, or Jalen Duren on the wing. It's just all right, go ahead, shoot. We'll live with them shooting. As long as Cade Cunningham doesn't beat us, anybody else can do it. That's what the Pistons are. Watching the Wizards game yesterday, I feel like every play there was 3 Wizards just in the paint or around the paint. No one was guarding the perimeter. It was literally just every time Cade Cunningham or someone drove, there were 3 people in their face, and you have to make a pass out. They have the second worst team in turnovers. They average 17 turnovers a game, which that explains a lot. Cade Cunningham averages almost 4.5 turnovers a game. That's also because, again, every time he's driving to the rim, he's got 3 people in his face. And it's what do I do from there? Jane Ivey, there's been a lot of discussion. I see a lot of Pistons Twitter. And yeah, people want Jane Ivey to play a lot more. And don't love Monty Williams' rotation. Jane Ivey is a starter again. And yeah, I made the video in the offseason before the season about Jane Ivey and why he could be a future star. If you missed that, go check that out. But he's had some decent moments. Jalen Duren has been really good. The only fortunate thing is he hasn't played. He's missed a lot of time. Asar Thompson is really good at some parts of the game. But he can't shoot yet. He's shooting 13% from 3 right now. So yeah, you got it. It's still a project. Asar Thompson is still a project, but he's shown a lot of things. I mean, he plays like he's 6'11". At 6'7", he rebounds. He makes the right plays. Passing wise, he's already an amazing defender. So you got something there. Marcus Sasser, late first round pick, he's shown some things already. After that, it's Alec Burks has been really good as well. Alec Burks is a really good player. After that, Kevin Knox is getting real minutes. Kevin Knox just got signed 2 weeks ago, and he's playing 28 minutes a game. That's where we're at right now. Kevin Knox. Isaiah Stewart is decent, but is he really a starter or a future piece of this team? I don't really know. Marvin Bagley, I don't know where him and James Wiseman are fighting for minutes. They both are kind of it's the roster is bad constructed wise, and the thing about this is they keep saying, or management and stuff keeps saying, wait till Bojan and Monty Morris get back. Bojan and Bogdanovich and Monty Morris turning this team around? Of course, they're good vets. They're good players. Bojan Bogdanovich last year was a 20-point per game scorer. He could come in. Maybe they could win another game or two because Bogdanovich could come in. He has that game where one of those nights he could drop 30 or something. Monty Morris is a solid player. But, like, are they expecting them to come back and make this team into a play-in team? Is that what they're expecting? Like, I can understand if the Grizzlies are saying we got Ja back in a few games. Then it's like, all right, Ja's an all-NBA superstar level player. Okay, let's see what this team really is. But Bojan Bogdanovic? Do we know something that they don't? Do we not know something they know? Is he gonna come back? All of a sudden, this team's gonna turn into a 35-win team? Don't think so. Is he even gonna be on the team past February? He might get traded. So, like, what? I just don't really know. Monty Williams, obviously, he turned the Phoenix Suns from the laughing stock of the league to going to the NBA Finals in like a year or two. But it's gonna be tough saving this one, man. Like, it doesn't help that he got the biggest coaching contract in NBA history. So they're kind of stuck with him over there. Like, they can't fire him now, you know. Like, they can't really. He's only coached 17 games. But yeah, it's just not inspiring at all in Detroit. Things are bad. The roster is constructed bad. The play on the court is bad. Everything is just bad. And I'm sorry, Piston. I know I'm not a Piston fan. I'm not a Detroit Pistons fan. So I honestly cannot say that I'm super crazy invested in the Pistons and that I watch every game and everything like that. But just looking from the outside in, it looks bad. So I can't even imagine what diehard, real Detroit Pistons fans are feeling. Like, I see it on Twitter and stuff like that, but it's like, you can never get that real feeling of how the fans are really feeling. And if I was a Piston fan, I would be angry. I'd be disencouraged because it's bad. Like, we shouldn't be this bad anymore. This should have been like 2 years ago bad. Like 2 years ago, where Kate Cunningham just got to the team. Like, we're still trying to find the pieces. We don't have Jalen Duren, Jaden Ivey yet. It's just Kate and a bunch of dudes, and we lose 16 games in a row. And, you know, then we get another pick next year. We get good. Then we start to look a tiny bit better. And then this year was supposed to be the year. It's like, all right, we got kind of the pieces in place a little bit. Of course, not fully, but we got some young players that we like. This is the year for, like, kind of finding where the pieces go and who's going to stick, who's not going to stick. And then we look a little better. And then maybe next year we can talk about playing. But right now, they're going backwards. Or even the same. Like, they're not taking any leaps forward. They're stepping backwards. That shouldn't be happening to a team like this. You know, so how do we change it? I don't really know. I don't know, like, if we can make a move. Like, the only move we can really make maybe is, like, getting a new ownership. Maybe. Like, it's crazy looking at the wins. Like, there's stats out there that says since the NBA trade deadline of last year's NBA trade deadline, February, they have won 4 games. They've won 4 games since February of last year. It's November. Like, I think they're 4-37 probably, or something like that. 4-36. In the Troy Weaver era, they've won 62 games, where there have been 2 separate seasons when they've won 64 and 63 games. So yeah, wins are not coming. This team looks bad. And now we look at, like, when can they win their next game? It's tough. Like, this was the game. The Wizards game last night was the game to win. And that kind of was the final straw to be like, all right, yeah, we got to do something. Like, if the Pistons don't do anything from this point on, a lineup change, a ownership change, something, then they'll really show what kind of organization this is. Because their next few games, their last 2 games in November, they play the Lakers and they play the Knicks. They're probably going to lose both of them. I mean, the Lakers, they just got beat by 40 against Philly, so they're probably going to be angry coming into this game. The Knicks are the Knicks. They're a tough team to beat. We go to December, they play the Cavs, the Pacers, 2 division rivals who they've already lost to both times, so they probably can lose again. They play the Sixers back-to-back. Oh, God. They play the Bucks, who are starting to hit their stride. They play the Hawks. Like, their next game where it could be like, okay, they can actually win that one, is against the Jazz. But then again, the Jazz just beat the Pelicans last night. And they went toe-to-toe with the Suns 2 days in a row. And that's on December 21st. That's in 9 games from now. They legitimately, not even like for an exaggeration or anything like that, they legitimately could go on a 20-game losing streak. It could be 20 games, even more, because they're at 14. That Jazz game isn't for till another 9 games from now. They could lose 20. They could be on a 22-game losing streak going into that game against the Jazz, and they could lose that game because the Jazz are a team that, even though they're not good, they're competitive. Like, they're not losing. They might be on a 7-game losing streak, but they're not losing by 40. You know, like, they're actually, like, again, they went toe-to-toe with the Suns 2 days in a row. They just beat the Pelicans last night. Like, and then after, if they don't win that game, oh man, and then they got Brooklyn back-to-back, which maybe they can win one. They played Boston and Toronto, and then after that, we're in 2024. Like, they legitimately can go the rest of 2023 without winning games. Like, if they don't win a game in 2023 again, then they gotta relocate the team, move the team to Seattle or something, because that is crazy. Like, they legitimately can go the rest of the year. There's like one game in 2023 where it's like, yeah, they can win that one. that should not be happening to any NBA team. Nevertheless, a team like even any NBA team should not be losing for an entire year worth of games. Like, man, I feel bad. In the body language, like we see in the videos, Kay Cunningham in the Raptor game where he was just put his head down and just didn't know what to do. The bench, there's no energy on the bench. It's just all bad. It is all bad in Detroit. I don't really know how to fix it. I don't know who can fix it. You just feel bad for the Pistons, for the players, for the fans, you know, that invest so much into this Piston team. And finally, this should have been the year where they see some success and they see a little bit of change, and they got a tiny glimpse of it for 3 games, and then it's all back to bad, bottom of the barrel, just disgusting bad, and that should not be happening. And yeah, they might have to change ownership again. They just gotta shake something up, because if this doesn't hold up, this doesn't get better at any point for the rest of the year, and they win like 14 games, 13 games, if even, like, there's got to be some serious decisions and conversations had around this Pistons organization. But yeah, it's gonna be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you like the content, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, all stuff like that. I really appreciate it. Really upset a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.